Here's a short explanation of the party game Throw Throw Burrito. Let's start with the basics. The game, from exploding kittens, is for 2 to 5 players ages 7 and up. The average game time is about 15 minutes, with the objective of the game to score the most points while avoiding getting hit by a burrito. Well, what's in the box? You got 2 burritos, playing cards, burrito bruises, and the Fear Me badge. To set up, shuffle the cards thoroughly. Deal each of the players approximately 15 cards face down. Players do not look at their cards yet. Take the remaining cards and split them into 2 piles. In the center of the playing area, place the Fear Me badge with all of the burrito bruises on top. Then, outside of the cards, place the 2 burritos. The players place their cards to their right. This will be their draw pile. Their discard pile will be to their left. The player to the left may also draw from these discarded cards. 2 piles of cards in the center are shared draw piles, and any player may draw from these piles during the game. To start the game, all players draw the top 5 cards from their personal pile. Players are trying to create 3 of a kind in their hand. If they are able to create 3 of a kind, they lay the 3 cards down face up in front of them. They then draw another 3 cards from either their personal pile, the community pile, or the cards that have been discarded from the player on their right. If a player does not have 3 of a kind in their hand, they may choose to discard 1 card, which they will put in their discard pile on the left face down. They then replace that card with a new card from either their personal pile, the community piles, or the discarded cards from the player on the right. Keep in mind that all players are going at it at the same time. There are no turns. You discard and draw as fast as you can. So to get the game started, once all players have their first 5 cards, count 3, 2, 1, burrito to get the play moving. Each set of 3 cards that you put down in front of you will be worth 1 point at the end of the game. Any set of 3 that involves burritos are worth 2 points. Speaking of burritos, there are 3 different sets of cards that contain burrito: the Burrito Brawl, Burrito Duel, and Burrito War. Let's take a look at what happens when one set of these cards are played. When a player gets 3 matching Burrito Brawl cards, they lay them down and they must announce loudly, "Burrito Brawl!" The people who are to the left and the right of that player, as quick as they can, grab one of the burritos from the table and throw it so it hits their opponent in the brawl. Players may get up, dodge, duck, or do whatever in order to avoid being hit by their opponent. Once a player is hit, the brawl is over. The person who was hit must take one of the burrito bruises and place it in front of them. If the wrong player grabs a burrito, in other words, a player who is not involved in the brawl is over. The incorrect player must take one of the burrito bruises. If a player in a brawl is able to catch the burrito instead of being hit by it, then their opponent takes the burrito bruise. A player must be hit directly. You are not allowed to bounce it off a wall or some other object. If it hits something else first, it doesn't count and the brawl continues. When the brawl is over, players return to their cards, count 3, 2, 1 burrito, and the game continues as normal. If a player gets a matching set of Burrito Duel cards, they place it down in front of them and announce loudly, "Burrito Duel!" All players stop with their cards. The player who laid down the duel cards must now pick any 2 players to take part in a duel. They can choose themselves if they wish. The players who are selected grab their burrito and leave the table. They get back to back. Count 3, 2, 1, burrito. On burrito, they spin around and the fight begins, just like the brawl rules. Whoever loses the duel takes the bruise, and then card play continues as normal. If a player plays a Burrito War set, they place the cards down in front of them and announce loudly, "Burrito War!" When this happens, all players, with the exception of the player who played the card, can now go for a burrito and attack any opponent except the player who played the cards. The same rules apply to the war as the brawl or the duel. Whichever player gets hit first receives the burrito bruise. If during the war a player throws the burrito and hits the player who initiated the war, that player is the loser of the war and must take the bruise. On a rare occasion, 2 sets of burrito cards are played at the same time. If this happens, regardless of what type of burrito cards have been played, it becomes a burrito war. And all players, including the players who played the cards, must then go for a burrito and follow the same rules as a normal war. Once all of the burrito bruises have been handed out, that ends the round. Players count up their scores. 1 point for each set, 2 points for each burrito set, and -1 point for every burrito bruise. Whoever has the highest score is the winner of the round and receives the Fear Me badge to keep with them during the second round. If there is a tie, the 2 players involved in the tie will have a burrito duel to determine the winner. Now reset all of the cards and the burritos. Follow the same thing again for round 2. If at the end of round 2 the player who has the Fear Me badge wins, they are the overall burrito champion. If someone other than the player who has the Fear Me badge wins, then the winner of round 1 and the winner of round 2 will have a duel to see who is the overall winner of the game. If you're playing with only 2 players, all burrito cards are brawls between the 2 players. To make it a little more challenging, the player, once they grab their burrito, should pass it behind their back from one hand to another before throwing the burrito. This is a great party game, but make sure you got plenty of room, and also, you might want to move any items that could be damaged by flying burritos before you start. But now you know the basics, so let's play.